Hey everyone, Invader1 here. As you guys may know, may not know, the BioWare developers, the developers of our Mass Effect 3 game that we all love, decided to play today, October 5th, Friday night, from 9 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern, or 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I had, kind of spammed their inboxes and their IDs saying, hey, I'd like to play with you guys, blah, 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 blah. So I actually, right at the time that they were going to get started with playing, I sent them a few messages, and it was pretty cool. I got Josh Hendricks, who was the developer, one of the developers of this game, and he actually helped develop this map, which is Jade, which is one of the maps that we're playing right now. And it was pretty cool. I mean, he sounds like a really nice guy. He was using the Solarian Infiltrator with the Valiant Sniper Rifle and Warp Rounds, and we also had a destroyer here, and I think a human adept. So it was pretty cool. The only issue is that since I had to rush and make sure that when I saw the invite, I had to rush and make sure that I accepted it right away, so that he wouldn't, send an invite to somebody else, so that I could actually get this game going. I had to use my Turtle Beach headset, which is the one that doesn't record when I am, it doesn't record my voice when I'm recording here. So, unfortunately, you'll probably be able to hear these guys, but you won't hear me talking in the live gameplay. So I will shut up here and there. I'll still talk about, what was going on and all that. I'll interject here and there, but you'll be able to hear some of the comments made, and you'll be able to hear Josh Hendricks talking. Now, some of the things that we did talk about was about the DLC coming out on Tuesday. He was actually very cool about asking questions about what was missing or what we thought. One of the things that I told him is about this map is are the objectives, that they're just like a little crazy. But honestly, that didn't bother me. This is actually one of my favorite maps for Platinum, so I didn't, I really don't have a problem with the map, the way this map is set up. I actually like this map a lot for Platinum because it's actually one of the easier maps, and it's actually in my point of view, it's very well designed. It's actually, it's very symmetrical. It just has good areas to kind of cover yourself, and at the same time, get good snipe shots across the way, and you can run and still hide. I like Jade. But I did tell him that the hack right there, right by the extraction, and that extraction point kind of sucked. But anyways, he was just really cool about it. He didn't know any of us, so he was just trying to do his best to survive. And even towards wave 10, me and the destroyer here had to clutch it because him and I believe the other guy got insta-killed, so we kind of had to clutch that last wave, and it was tough. It was a little tough because we had nothing but phantoms, around us. And it was pretty cool. We still did it, and we we had a lot of fun. I'm getting a text message right now from my buddy Kanigas because he wanted to get in on it right now, and he just missed out on it. He works nights, so it's a little tough, and I wasn't allowed to invite anybody. But anyways, still, it was pretty cool to get to actually play with a BioWare developer. Josh Hendricks seemed really, really nice. He was actually he had no idea who I was. He did say that he was that he had not completed Platinum yet, which was amazing because I'm the Platinum strategies guy, so he didn't know that at all. He said that he was looking at some videos and all, and I just laughed. I said, "Yeah, you've probably seen my videos," because so far I think I am one of the only guys teaching strategies on Platinum. Meaning it's not that nobody else is showing videos on Platinum; it's that they're not doing anything to teach you how to beat it or where to go, where the spawn points are, that kind of thing. And you guys know I do a lot of that, and I will be redoing every map after Tuesday with the new environmental hazards and everything that's happening, with the new characters. And I will be expanding my my videos too, to include how to work with characters on Platinum, like which characters have best synergy together in a team, you know. So I will be doing that, especially now that we'll have the collectors coming in. We have a totally new faction. You know, I am definitely going to be recording new videos and, you know, giving you guys new strategies for Platinum. And so yeah, you know, so we had a few conversations. You guys can hear in the background a little bit. You know, he didn't talk a lot, but he did talk enough that he was just, you know, asking us questions and everything, and, you know, how we felt about the game, and you know, all the little things that we did tell him, you know, that it was really cool. Some of the updates that they made was really, really nice. I did have a few of my buddies who wanted me to troll him, because some of my buddies don't like the objectives on Jade, and you know, they were telling me, yeah, troll him, yeah, tell him that this sucks, you know, blah 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 blah. But I was just like, no, you know, I'm not gonna do that, you know. So I did tell him, you know, some of the things that we saw here and there that probably could be enhanced, but mostly we were. This is the problem. They came out with a really good patch. Yeah, there's some issues, but due to the fact that they came out with this new patch, it was very difficult for me to say, well, this sucks, or this is wrong, or this is no good, because they fixed a lot of it. So I really didn't have a lot to tell him. I would have had pre-patch. There are some stuff post-patch that, you know, could be fixed or whatever, but, you know, pre-patch, I just, you know, I would have had a lot of things to tell him, but right now that the patch has already been, you know, brought about, you know, what can I say, you know? So I just, you know, I told him that, yeah, maybe the objectives here could be corrected a little bit or a little different, but that was about it. And we were pretty much telling him that, you know, some of the good things that we saw. Definitely have fun. The people that were invited here to play, I no clue who they are. Never played with them before, and it was fun. They were very, very cool. I mean, everybody was really nice, and they sent me. I think they sent me friend requests, and I accepted it. So I had no problem playing with new players, as you guys know already. And that was about it. I think, now that I think about it, the only thing that I've been having issues with lately, especially on Platinum, off host, because I've been trying to test myself off host. Because if you guys don't know this, if you want to test your capabilities and you want to see how good you can get, play off host. Because what will happen is that playing off host, there are some issues with lag. You know, you find some issues with if somebody else's connection is not the best, or there's always some kind of delay. Because of the delay, though, you have to play a little differently, or a little bit more reserved, or not as aggressive. Or even if you are as aggressive, you got to time your shots a little differently. So what happens is, when you do play as a host, you play a lot better. I mean, even better, because you've already practiced playing off host. And, you know, there are people, matter of fact, my buddy Shadrach, when he was playing Mass Effect, he was telling me this too. He had a few of the people that would play off host, and then they got used to the bad connection, so that by the time they actually played, you know, playing a really good connection, they were just ridiculously good players. So that's what was going on here. I had one issue here, guys. This is the one time that I do get down a lot, except for wave 10, that, you know, we had the hack. We had the objective. Me and the destroyer were the only two guys up for that, and, you know, obviously that's the reason why. But the strategy there when we got to wave 10 was that I was gonna just keep on acolyting and pulling the Phantom so he could finish them off, because I didn't want them to insta kill us. So I was taking the risk. Here I died quite a bit. I wasn't taking a lot of cover. I probably should have, but I wasn't sure of what they were gonna do, or what their playstyle was. And the other problem is that I had the Acolyte, and the Acolyte forces you to get out of cover, so I kind of got jacked up here. But whatever, it's all good. We did it. This is a team game, and, you know, it is what it is. So what was funny, though, that Josh was saying, the BioWare dev was saying, wow, man, we're really tearing through these enemies really fast. And that excited me, yet at the same time, it it kind of made me giggle a little bit because I play platinum all the time, guys. So to me, playing gold is just fun, really, because you can run around. I just run around gold like nothing. And platinum, yeah, I run around quite a bit, but it's a little differently. We run around with a little bit of strategy. We kind of stick together. I actually stick with the team. If I see another team member running away somewhere, I'll go with him. So like that, if he gets down, I help him out. We cover each other. We take out enemies together. So I like to play 2-on-2. So like two guys cover each other. The other two guys cover each other. Or I do it without even saying it. I'll go and cover a friend. I'll see that he's there, somebody sniping. I'll go cover him behind him without him even knowing. Kind of like you saw that I was doing with the BioWare dev. He was sniping, I'm behind him, making sure that if there's anything else that I can help him out with, boom, it's done. So it all depends. Depends on the situation. Here, I'm just really just going off on my own, and a lot of parts, and then a lot of parts I just go and support. Whenever I see a situation that needs help, so, we had our. So, anyways, the reason why that made me giggle a little bit was because, I can. You guys know I can handle platinum. I can, I've duoed platinum. I'm actually working on platinum solo. I might hold it off now that finishing off the platinum solo because now we got the new maps and the new characters and everything. I might just try out one of the other characters that are coming out. So, I don't know. I'm going to see what happens. But anyways, the point is that the other part of that comment that kind of made me a little nervous was the fact that since we were actually running through gold so easily, I didn't want the BioWare developer to think, oh man, we need to buff gold up now. So, I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe gold may need a buff, but the thing is that for players like myself or players that are more experienced at this game, we're fine. We're fine with it because, platinum. We have platinum. We can play platinum, and that's what we can do. What I prefer, the changes that I would prefer are things to like the objectives or the game modes or game types. That's what I would prefer. That's what will make the game a little bit different and a little bit more challenging. But anyways, that kind of, I was like, oh no. When he said that, I was like, oh man, we're probably going to get a buff to the enemies because we were just running through this game so quickly. I'm kind of hoping that, I was only allowed to play one game with him because, he's cycling through people and making sure. Fortunately, I was lucky to be the first game with him, and it was pretty cool. You hear him at the end. He kind of thanks everybody. But I'm kind of hoping that his other games are not as successful, so like that, he's not thinking, oh man, we need to buff all these enemies, we need to make the phantoms, like super ridiculous, shoot like 5 shots or something and dance on you doing the cucaracha or something. So anyways, I'm hoping that that's not the case, so like I'm kind of, I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen. But anyways, that was the one part that I got a little nervous. I'm like, oh no. I know, because they already did a buff, as you guys know. They did a few changes to the Geth. Now the Geth Prime's combat drone actually shoots you and fights you. Honestly, I don't have a problem with that. I like that. I always thought that the drone not doing anything was kind of stupid. It should be doing something. The only problem that I have is that I think he should have a limit as to how many devices he can actually cast out at the same time. I mean, there's times I've seen a Prime have two turrets with a combat drone, and sometimes cast out a third turret, like surrounded by turrets. It's just like freaking ridiculous. So, I don't know. The Geth are a little cheap, anyways. But whatever. So yeah, you can hear the guys here in the background. Let me see if I can shut up a little so you guys can hear it. I kind of put the volume a little lower because sometimes when I'm narrating, if I have the volume a little too high, then you guys can't hear me narrating, and it sounds like I'm battling with the game. Here we are, wave 9 already, and I'm just like, just having fun. And as you guys know, the waves that you guys see me use the rocket. If you guys don't know this, speedrunners know this. Waves 5, 8, and 9 are usually the waves that you want to rocket spawns, because it makes the game go faster, and that's when you have double bosses. So you see like 2 Atlases at once. You see, if you're playing Reapers, you see 2 Banshees. So that's pretty much when you want to start using rockets. That you'll see me do that here, and I do that in other games. Just 5, 8, and 9. I'll shoot 1 missile. Sometimes I didn't even shoot it at all. But lately, since I play pretty much mostly platinum. We all do that. Like our entire team, waves 589, we're all at least one missile each, and we'll just clear out waves 589. It's not a speed. We're not really doing speed runs, but we still take that speed run approach for those waves, just so that we could have a quicker game, and our games will end up like being 20 minutes, 22 minutes. Because we're pretty much just playing regular, but that's the one speedrun tactic that we do employ, that we do use missiles on those waves just to kind of make those waves go a little faster, a little easier for us. So that you see that I employ those same tactics here. Here we go, 2 Atlases. That's when I actually use a missile, and I make sure I have my other 2 missiles for later, and that was it. So anyways, guys, it was cool playing with Joss. Joss, if you've seen watching this video, really cool playing with you. Thank you for sending me an invite, and just listening to what we had to say. And that's about it. I'm gonna let you guys hear this a little bit, and I'm gonna shut up a little bit, but I will continue narrating here and there. Let you guys watch some of this gameplay and hear some of the comments. That's where he said it. I don't know if you guys heard it. So you guys are chewing them up. And what I told him, I said, well, I was never worried. So, that's where I got a little scared that he might take that as, oh, well, maybe we need to buff the enemies here. Oh, guys, this was crazy. This hack. So right here, it was only me and the destroyer. BioWare Dev was down, and he didn't make it. I didn't know that he didn't make it. I thought he was just taking his time getting here. But anyways, this was tough because they were setting up turrets all around us. You guys can see this is crazy. Somehow we made it through this. This was like the cheesiest thing, but used the missile to clear it out. That was my last missile. I cleared out the Atlas before because it was blocking the BioWare Dev, and it was blocking the other guy. But somehow they still didn't make it, which is totally fine. It happens in the game. But I was communicating with everybody all this time, by the way, guys. I rushing to put on what I needed to put on to accept the game invite. I didn't get to put on the other headset, which is the one that will allow you guys to hear me, but you guys can hear them somewhat. So you'll see here, we actually, sometimes guys, you can actually duck on the enemies. I mean, they're coming, right? But I'm just like spamming Reeve and kind of just hanging out. Some people say cover is overrated, but not on devices. I mean, not on hacking and hacking devices and objectives. Oh, and by the way, I talked to my buddy Kanigas, and he's like, "Oh, you used my girl, that sorry Justicar." Guys, before Kanigas, I'm gonna troll him right now because this is actually true. Before Kanigas did his solo with the Justicar, before he was even using the Justicar, I was already working a solo with the Justicar, and I was already using the Justicar forever with the Acolyte. So, if you guys ever see him troll or say anything, I was rocking the Justicar since 1999. Just so you guys know. Ha. Alright. So yeah, guys, this was a lot of fun. I mean, I got a lot of requests to troll the BioWare devs if they got me into a game, but, I've worked in, you guys don't know this, but I'm actually an operations manager. I've worked for software companies for over 13 years. I've worked side by side with developers. And I know what they have to do to fix things. It takes time. I didn't want to give the guy a hard time, but especially now that they did this patch, And, I was like, okay, they at least had all this work done, and the patch was actually pretty good. So what can I say? This got a little hairier here. I told the destroyer to come with me to the other side because we were pinned down over there, and it actually worked out. By this time, BioWare Dev 7, Josh Hendricks was saying, "Well, yeah, I took a nap." He's like, "You guys had this," so it was pretty cool. Again, guys, this is gold. I mean, not that gold is not difficult. It is. It's just you guys already know. At the level that I play here with platinum, gold is just really it's just fun. I never even worry in gold. Even playing in pug lobbies, if I have to, clutch certain waves, I'll clutch them. And that's not being prideful. I'm just being honest. This is the one thing I didn't understand though. Maybe I should have told him this. The Asara just got the Shield Booster 5. She's got really like all this damage reduction with Reeve, which I don't really see activating here sometimes. It activates, but not all the time. And I'm using Reeve all the time. But anyways, the Shield Booster 5 before on her, the gear bonus was a little glitchy. It wasn't quite working right, and you have to use cyclonic modulators to really give her an extra shield boost. She's got a lot of high health and shield, so she's really good with that. She's not, she's actually tankier. She's not like the other adepts, but for some reason, the Phantoms would by the second shot, I'd almost be dead. I know that by the third shot, if they get you on the third shot, sometimes they can kill you, but her health and shields are just no joke. Oh, you heard him, guys? He was just taking a nap. I told him I wasn't worried at all. So I am going to stop narrating a little bit. I'll say maybe one or two more things, but definitely want you guys to hear him talk at the end. I raised the volume for his last words because he actually says some nice things to the fans, and I think it would be nice for you guys to hear that. This is the end. I'll let you guys hear the rest of this.
That want to play. Yeah. Yep. Thank you very much for playing, and I hope that Tuesday is going to be a good day for you guys.